Cause you don't know football. Reek put us together like the Avengers. For the love of the game, this ain't for the pretenders. Used to strap them up, that's why we qualify. So when I tell you you don't know, I won't apologize. It get ugly on the gridiron, and I'm tired of watching all of these analysts misfire. This raw ain't politically correct, but either way you put it, man, we blessed. Tell y'all networks they should get hip to us. Moving on to big things when they pitch to us. A hot take can make you put on the gloves, but at the end of the day, it's all love. So as you gon' bring the stats to the room, or maybe the eye test to the Zoom, just know we appreciate y'all. But cause you don't know football, cause you don't know football, cause you don't know football.
All right, cool. Moving on. Yeah, these are some really good teams.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so at this point, let me just start by saying no shade to any of these teams because honestly, you are kind of legitimate teams going forward here, okay? So the next team, I'll just go down the list. The Detroit Lions didn't have the year that we thought they were going to have last year. So coming into this new NFL season, the Detroit Lions, Jake, please let us know what is their fatal flaw.
I mean, it's got to be defense, specifically the secondary. It is so hard to fathom how snake bit this secondary seems to be. I mean, with the fact that Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are still both dealing with injuries, the fact that Terrion Arnold is out there doing what Terrion Arnold is doing and he's not on the team anymore. I mean, it's just injury, off the field issues. It just seems to, for 3 years in a row now, thin out this room in a way that just really makes it unfeasible. I love DJ Reed. Roger McCreary was a good signing, and Keith Abney is good, but you know, with Terrion Arnold being gone, now you kind of need Keith Abney to be like, he's a mid-round pick. You need him day one to be ready to start for you. And Kelvin Shepard, their defensive coordinator, is trying to run more nickel. So you're going to have 5 players in the secondary on the field at one point, and you're still short both your starting safeties. I like Chuck Clark and Christian Izien as like rotational veteran pieces, but it's just, it really does feel like they are lacking a lot of depth. And for the 3rd season in a row, depth is about to be a real problem for them in this unit. So that's my pick.
So, Detroit. I want you to know, Detroit, I see you, and I've seen you for years, and I thought this was it, and now I have my answer, and I'm doing a prediction.
All right.
The fatal flaw for the Detroit Lions is coaching.
Oh, dang. All right, go ahead.
Ever since, I can't even think of this man's name because he needs to go. Hold on.
Dan Campbell?
Yeah, Dan Campbell. Ever since Dan Campbell got there, we looked at the Detroit Lions, and I was like, "All right, look really good," but he never. I would go back to even his initial press conference. It was just like
biting kneecaps.
We're biting kneecaps, and we're doing that. I'm like, "Yeah, you're a rah guy, but a head coach has to be smarter." You know, I mean, that's kind of what it is. So. He had Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Those were his coordinators, and he looked phenomenal. And I was interested to see, is he in, like, was it them, or is he smarter than I think he is? And then he gets these new coordinators, and they just look worse. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's what it was. You need some smarter people in front of you to hold you up. He don't have that. He don't have guys that are just so much smarter than everybody else. Like if he had Kyle Shanahan, okay, I might have different thought process. But he does not have guys that are smarter than everybody else, and he's not that good of a head coach. I think we've seen the best of the Detroit Lions under Dan Campbell. I don't think they're going to be a Super Bowl contender, exceptional roster and team and philosophy like they have been in the past.
It's tough. And it's a really interesting discussion because, you know, I mean, they brought in John Morton last year after Ben Johnson went to the Bears. I mean, they were firing him. They ended up, I think he ended up staying on the team the rest of the season, but I mean, they relinquished play calling from him. They went into that halftime game against the Commanders and they came out and they said, "You're not calling plays anymore for us. Dan Campbell, will be calling plays."
Dan Campbell definitely did.
I mean,
I'm going to call these plays now.
You know, I do like Kelvin Shepard. Like, he has shown some promise, and I'm interested to see, you know, what he, again, I think it's the same problem Aaron Glenn had. It's just like, dude, everybody gets hurt, and you just don't have anybody you're pulling guys out of the stands to put on the field. You know what I mean? I think it is an interesting discussion, though, because they brought in Drew Petzing from Arizona, and Drew Petzing, the style of offense he wants to call, does fit a lot more of what this offense wants to do.
Right.
But I do agree with you. I mean, if Drew Petzing comes in and it doesn't work out,
Sorry about
and they are, oh, you're good. And they are yet again having to look for somebody to help elevate this offense because Dan Campbell, he is a CEO style head coach. He is that, again, you said that raw guy, but he is not the guy that you want calling your plays every game.
Mhm.
And it's the risk you run. It's the same problem that John Harbaugh has. When John Harbaugh loses great coordinators, he's not somebody that can step in and dominate one side of the ball. So, it is a really interesting problem that they could have if the guys they have now at OC, if they have to go back into the wilderness for the third straight year looking for other guys, it's like, what are we doing?
Right. So yeah, man, that's just how I felt about the Detroit Lions.
No, I hear you, man.
So moving over, let's go back over to the AFC West. Let's go with those Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers. What is the fatal flaw of the Los Angeles Chargers? And actually, can I go first on this one?
Absolutely, please.
I got something for you, and I'm very curious. This is a divide in NFL talks. Okay,
let's go. I think I know where you're going.
The fatal flaw of the Chargers is Justin Herbert. What are we talking about here? Justin Herbert is the reason why they will not win the Super Bowl, okay? Let me tell you something right now. We are only having a half-ass conversation about CJ Stroud right now, and we're only talking about Trevor Lawrence because they did one thing universally, beat Justin Herbert in the playoffs, and he still doesn't have any playoff wins. He's put up magical numbers in the regular season. I'm not gonna lie about that. 5,000-yard seasons have come from this man. He's either not made the playoffs or not won a playoff game every year of his career. And for all the pressure we put on Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen for saying what they have to do, we don't put 25% of that on his shoulders and we act like it's the roster. No, Justin Herbert is the reason why they have lost and why they will continue to lose going into the season, even with a very good roster.
So my fatal flaw plays off of yours a little bit. And again, like I went a little bit outside the box for the Chargers here because it's not that I think this is the worst part of their team, but I think it is the most important part of their team with questions. And for me, it is the interior offensive line. And the reason is because it was terrible last year. We all know. I mean, everybody's talked about all the pressure stats and everything, but they did improve it. Tyler Biadasz is a great addition. I like Jake Slaughter.
Once I started going to my phone, I was like, I'm about to give you some. They worked on that alone, just to let you know.
They did. Tyler Biadasz. And then, Trevor Penny. But, there are still questions there. And the reason I picked it as my fatal flaw is because, Mike McDaniel is coming in, and Mike McDaniel is known for just scheming up run plays, in a beautiful fashion, right? In Miami, he really loved running the ball to the outside. But the thing was, in Miami, he had Raheem Mostert. He had Devon Achane. He had these very fast running backs. Omarion Hampton is not a fast running back. He just does not have that speed. And so that tells me, okay, you're probably not going to be able to run the ball outside as much. You're going to have to run it through the interior. And if this interior line is just not as good as we're hoping it is, they're not going to be able to run the ball. And what you're going to see is the exact same problem we have seen for 2 seasons now, where this is an offense that wants to run the ball, but they can't. And as a result, they have to ask Justin Herbert to do more than they probably want to be asking Justin Herbert to do. So I'm kind of there with you. If this interior line does not hit, it's going to be Justin Herbert throwing it a lot on early downs. It's going to be a lot of the same problems we've seen. And I think that will keep them from going as far as they want. If they can't run the ball, it is game breaking.
Okay, so and I could live with that answer if they don't speak about Justin Herbert like he's all world all the time.
He's so fun to watch. You're like, oh man, this guy could be so good.
Yeah, but he's also going back to the Texans. Like when they played the Texans last year, based on injuries and everything, they had a better roster too. So they're supposed to have the better quarterback.
They were favored
and the better roster, and that didn't work out. And then going back to when they lost to the Jaguars, and Trevor Lawrence had a better roster, supposedly had a better quarterback. And I'm like, well, damn, like, can y'all stop talking about him so much then? Let him be.
Yeah.
Let him be okay. Let him be average, but don't tell me
It's
he's great.
No, that game against the Texans is like the Jaguars game. That was kind of a team fit. I kind of get it. Justin Herbert shares the blame. That game against the Texans was just bad. He threw the same amount of interceptions in that game that he had thrown like all season long. He was favored on the road. They went into that game favored in Houston on the road in a playoff game, and they just got curb stomped. It was bad. So, yeah. I think they need to take pressure off of him. They can take pressure off of Justin Herbert. I think that's when you'll see Justin Herbert be at his best. But if they can't do that, it's going to be the same conversation.
Okay, I can live with that. All right. So listen, this is what we're going to do, Jay. We're going to take 5 because we went through 4 teams. We're going to take 5. This is part 1. And then we're going to come right back and we're going to finish out part 2.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.